So hello and welcome to Kivy School. This is going to be part 5 of Kivy Whisper, which is create an executable with PyInstaller. So how do you create a PyInstaller executable? Time to follow Kivy School instructions on PyInstaller. The first step is to poetry add PyInstaller, or you can pip add PyInstaller if you use pip. Now the problem is it says basically the requirement is not compatible with your Python requirement. So the answer is do basic math and set Python to my current version. This is because my Python version in PyProject.toml is greater than 3.10, right? Which means it can accept 3.14, which doesn't really exist as of the time of recording. But PyInstaller is asking for Python less than 3.13, right? So if I set Python to 3.10.9, it will satisfy PyInstaller's request. And all you have to do is just go to PyProject.toml and fix it up. So if you go right here, Python 3.10.9. Instead of saying greater than 3.10, and PyInstaller will run and be installed with poetry. Nothing crazy so far. Now it's installed. Next, we will choose between one file and one directory. I like one file, it looks cooler. It's not as messy. So we run this command, right? Python-m to run a module, and the module's name is PyInstaller. Argument is one file. The name is Kivy Whisper. This is going to be the name of the project. And then main.py. This is the actual Python file that I want to call. Next, we fix the spec file as for step 4.8. We add from Kivy deps, or let's go to the spec file right here. Next, we add import SDL and glue right here. Add this line after adatas right here. Star tree P for P in SDL2. I have no KV, so I have nothing to add in datas so far. However, Whisper AI might depend on some external files, so I have to check if the one file works out of the box, or if this requires more files to be added. This requires manual testing. Can't create PyInstaller when Whisper AI is imported. So here they're going to say you're missing some hidden imports, which I will show you what I was missing. So what did I manually add for Whisper AI to work? So here, oh, it's the same one. Okay, basically, one thing you can do is recursive copy metadata OpenAI Whisper to the PyInstaller command, and that will correctly collect all of the Whisper library and package it correctly when you create an executable with PyInstaller. Solution was recursive copy metadata OpenAI Whisper to the PyInstaller command. This is the new PyInstaller command. Python-m PyInstaller one file recursive copy metadata OpenAI Whisper. The name is Kivy Whisper main.py. During manual testing, I found out that it's asking for Win32 time zone. And this one little quick hint: the way I took this screenshot was literally just press screenshot when it errors out. If you want it to stay longer, all you have to do is go right here and then like import time, then time.sleep 10 seconds, right? Now why will this work? Because very basically, if your Python executable is not running anymore, it will just exit, right? The window will just exit. Kivy inherently is a for loop, right? If your Kivy for loop runs and then it immediately exits, the window will exit as well, right? But if after your Kivy app exits and then you import time.sleep, your Python code is still running. It will hold open the command prompt and you can be able to see the error without being, super fast with print screen. Just a quick note if you can't get the error message immediately. So the solution is to add Win32 time zone to hidden imports in KivyWhisper.spec. So I'm not running this command anymore. All this command does is create the spec file. But here, now that I have a custom spec file, you need to actually run the spec file itself. So for that, let's go here. So for that, you actually call the spec file. You need to say Python-m PyInstaller, call the spec file, and then say clean. I like using clean because sometimes it actually fixes problems that I have when you build from scratch. So another issue is that Whisper is asking for mail filters in the temp folder. And then another problem, which I put together, is it's also asking for multilingual.tick token. So how did I fix this, right? Right here, this pathlib trick, it's just a complicated way of saying from .ven lib side packages you send all the way to Whisper assets. From .venv lib site packages, you send to Whisper assets. Why Whisper assets? Because it says no such file or directory. This, my local temp folder, this is the temp file that PyInstaller always creates to. It's not the same numbers, but it's like the same format. And it's looking for Whisper assets mail filters. Whisper assets mail filters. You send mail filters to Whisper assets mail filters, because that's where it's looking for mail filters. That's where it's looking for multilingual.tick token. So this is the path of sys.executable, and this is just a trick that I'm using. I know how to get from sys.executable to venv lib site packages, but there's probably a smarter way to get this location. It's just, this is quick and dirty, so I'm going to do it the way I know how to do it, fast and easy. So this is sys.executable, import sys.executable, and this shows you the path of python.exe. And then it's good because this is the path of the python.exe in your virtual environment. This is not the path of my system Python. This is the path of my virtual environment Python, which is the one I'm using. So we know where sys.executable is right here. From there, we can go to lib, and then from lib site packages, we can go to Whisper. So there's two notes. This approach depends on how your Python system is installed, aka this approach has only been tested with the Poetry plus PyInf setup, and it might fail if installed through other means. There's number two. This is probably a smarter, more Pythonic, more cross-platform way to get the location of the lib folder, but I just wanted to finish it, so this is the way I'm going to show you how I did it. So the solution is in the spec file. So the solution is going to be right here. The base environment, and then filters path, and then from filters to Whisper assets. Filters to Whisper assets. And then datas, all datas is just a list of tuples. The tuple is source, destination. Source, destination. That's all there is to it. And the data is, right here, datas is equal to datas. Right? And then the explanation is right here. Base venv is the base.venv folder that holds the lib folder where Whisper resides. Then filters path and filters path 2 is manual join of the location of filters.mpc multilingual.tick token based on what I assume about the Python Poetry installation. The final step is telling PyInstaller where to find the location and where to send it. This is done through the datas, which is just a list of tuples in this form, source, destination. The error messages are both looking for these files in the Whisper assets folder, so now we also know the destination. So here again, filters path is the source, right? Destination is Whisper assets. And this destination is the destination that your standalone executable, standalone one folder is using. This is the source, and then this is the destination. So run this command to build PyInstaller onefile for the final time. Python-m to run a module, PyInstaller, KivyWhisper spec-clean. And then the executable is made in the distribution folder, and then it works. And then this is the transcript made with Whisper AI medium model. Again, it works. So reminder, make a pip requirements.txt at the end. So if you don't like poetry, I did make a requirements.txt, but the command is poetry export-f requirements.txt output requirements.txt if people like using pip. So congratulations. Thank you for watching this series. So now you can also make KivyWhisper. And I hope you learned something new. Hope you learned something good. And I hope that also you can use this for your own apps as well. Thank you for watching. This has been Kivy School.